Hello viewers, welcome back to Already Late. In this video, I will discuss about day 4 of the budget announcements. Oops, I meant stimulus announcements. Got confused because every day is passing by, the stimulus is looking more like a budget. Today's announcements revolved around major policy reforms in certain sectors: coal, minerals, defense, aviation and space. To fast-track investments, an empowered group of secretaries will be formed. Further, there will be a project development cell under each ministry to prepare projects and coordinate with investors and central and state governments. Also announced was a system for ranking the states on investment attractiveness. And finally, there will be an incentive scheme for new sectors such as solar panel, advanced cell battery storage, and so on. There has also been a focus on improving industrial infrastructure. All these measures sound very good, but even if we see effective implementation, there's a star there, it will still take at least 2 years to see any meaningful impact on the ground. And in any case, how does any of these measures provide any kind of stimulus right now to the economy? Coal sector received a lot of push today with a host of reforms announced. One of our largest imports has been coal, and the finance minister today stressed upon being self-reliant in coal production. The government has allowed private participation in coal sector. Until a few years ago, private participation was allowed, but was then stopped. What the minister has announced today is that anyone can bid for coal blocks and there will be a revenue sharing mechanism with the government. Earlier, only captive consumer with end use ownership, only they could bid for the blocks, and the payment to government was on a fixed rate. Now what this measure will do is reduce our import bill and also bring in significant revenue to the government. The minister said that 50 blocks will be offered immediately. So what are you waiting? Be ready to invest in coal blocks. The reforms in coal sector did not end there. You can now participate in commercial mining too. The government has decided to offer partially explored coal blocks to private entities. Exploration is a process to find new coal deposits. Further, the minister has announced a 50,000 crore infrastructure development fund for the sector. This includes 18,000 crore rupees for conveyor belts for transporting coal from the mines to the railway sidings. Another positive measure, but for the long-term progress, long-term reform of the economy. After coal, it was now turn of mineral sector to receive some goodies from the minister. 500 mining blocks will be auctioned for exploration, mining and production. The minister also spoke about rationalization of stamp duty payable during the time of awarding these mining leases. These measures will help the bauxite and the aluminium mining companies in the long run. The biggest signs of Atmanirbhar was seen in the defense sector. The FDI limit in defense manufacturing has been raised to 74% from the current 49%. This is perhaps a very essential move considering that we are among the top 3 importers of weapons consistently. With this increased limit, we will certainly hope to see many foreign defense manufacturers set up production units in India. Now you might be thinking, how is opening up of our sector for foreigners being Atmanirbhar? Well, we need to understand the difference between going local and going Swadeshi. We can love to be in our Lala land, thinking that we can boycott everything that is not Indian. But practically it's just impossible for not only us, not only India, but any country today to say that they can be 100% local, 100% Swadeshi. Just not possible in this era of interdependency. Made in India for me is equal to going local. Who made it is a very distant second. Another major reform announced in the defense sector was corporatization of Ordnance Factory Boards. Ordnance Factory Board is the apex body of 41 factories that manufacture weapons in India, and it's a body under the Defense Ministry. Corporatization would result in better efficiencies and it will definitely enhance our research, production, development capacity of weapons. After defense, the minister turned her attention to the aviation sector. There were a few good measures, very good measures announced here. Firstly, more airspace will be freed for flying. Currently, only about 60% of airspace is available for airlines to fly. Now, what happens is this results in longer flight routes, resulting in longer hours for pilots, additional fuel consumption, increased operation and maintenance costs. This positive measure is expected to bring a saving of 1,000 crore rupees every year to the aviation sector. The minister also spoke about 6 airports being awarded for operation and maintenance on public-private partnership basis, and another 6 are ready for bidding. These are expected to bring an investment of 13,000 crore rupees. By when? Nothing mentioned, but certainly you cannot expect it to be fully in this year. There were also announcements pertaining to rationalizing tax structure for aircraft maintenance, repair and overhaul ecosystem, and also make this space, the MRO space, more efficient. It's a no-brainer that one of the worst hit industry due to corona was the airline sector. What the minister has announced today can be called reforms for long term. But excuse me, where is the stimulus? Will any of these measures, help airlines to tide over this huge crisis right now, what they are facing? No, so sorry, these measures will definitely not solve the problem in hand. After aviation, let us now look at what the space and atomic sector got. The government wants increased private participation in both these sectors. Level playing field will be provided to private players in the space industry, and they will be allowed to use facilities of ISRO. Another significant reform announced was to introduce tariff policy for electricity. This policy will set standards of service for power distribution companies, and the end consumer, the industries, people like us, will not be penalized for inefficiencies of the distributing companies. So load shedding, we might get paid if there's a load shedding. A wonderful and a much needed reform indeed. This was the gist of the announcements made by the finance minister. Am I more disappointed than what I was yesterday? To an extent, yes. I am disappointed that airlines got no immediate benefit. They needed an insulin boost, and what they got instead was an advice to maintain a balanced diet. A balanced diet will definitely help me control my blood sugar, but only if I'm alive till then. Another disappointment was looking at the sectors addressed today: coal, minerals, defense, space. Were any of these sectors in large pain due to corona? Absolutely not. Luckily, all they got was reforms, else it would have been even worse when the sector that needs immediate attention does not get, and those not needing get relief. So that's kind of a saving grace. One thing I'm sure now is that the finance minister is presenting another budget. The budget presented in February was largely disappointing, and now she is out to make amends. Thank you, Corona. At least you got government to do something that was pending for decades. A few bold, much needed reforms. My only wish and hope now lies on the last day announcements. Please, madam, please announce some measures for boosting the demand too. Else all these mega loans that have been announced over the last 4 days will be of no use. Signing off with this hope, please subscribe to the channel and share my video. Thank you.